Hello, my name is Tavisha Doshi and welcome to Week 1 of Bit by Bit Coding's Beginner App Development course. Today, we're going to build a simple app asking users if they would like to sign up for an updates program. We will start in code.org's App Lab. You can name the project whatever you want. I will name it App Dev Week 1. Let's start by designing the look of our app. Rename Screen 1 to be Home. You can change the background color or even make an image as your background. I will change the background to Bit by Bit Coding's theme, a light blue. Okay. Now, we can add elements to our app. First, let's add a label to make a title for the app. We can change the ID of this label. When we give ID names to elements in our app, we want them to follow a clear and consistent pattern, so it's easier to understand our code later. From now on, we will name things like this: things _ type. Thing is what it is, like a title or username. Type is what kind of element it is, like text or button. For this case, let's name our label as title _ text. You can put whatever you want as your title. I will name it Welcome to Bit by Bit Coding. You can set the width of your text box to whatever you want. I will change it to 250 so the title fits in one line. You can set the height of your text box too. I will set it to 30. Now the X position means how left or right your element should be. I will place it in the middle at 35. The Y position means how up or down your element should be on the screen. I will place my title at 15. You can also change the text color and font family of your title. I want to make my title a dark blue and Tahoma. Oh, the title is not in the middle anymore. I will change the X position so it's in the middle. You can also change the font size. I will keep it at 13. Let's add another label to the app. We will now ask a question to the users. Let's change the ID. Remember to keep the formatting as thing _ type. In this case, question _ text. The question we will ask our users is, would you like to sign up for our updates program? Change the width to 280 and the height to 30. Now change the X and Y positions of the question. Set the X position as 20 and the Y position as 125. Change the text color and font family to whatever you want. I will leave the color as it is and change the font to Arial. I will also change the font size to 12. Now let's add a button to let the user select yes or no. To do that, we will use a radio button. This is our yes button. So the ID should be yes _ RB. RB stands for radio button. The group ID is the ID for a group of elements. In this case, we will have two radio buttons, a yes and no. So name the group ID to yes no _ RBG. And RBG stands for radio button group. You can change the width and height of the button as well. Let's change them both to 15. Make the X position 45 and the Y position 170. Now, let's add the no radio button. Set the ID to no _ RB. Make sure the group ID is yes no _ RBG. Let's keep both buttons identical. Make the width and height 15. Change the X position to 45 and the Y position to 195. Let's use the label element to label each radio button. Place 1 for the yes button. Make the ID yes_text. Change the text to yes. Keep the width at 57 and the height at 18. Change the X position to 60 and the Y position to 165. You can change the text color and font family to whatever you want. I will keep the color and change the font family to Arial. I will also keep the font size as 13. Add another label for the no radio button. Make the ID no_text. Change the text to no and keep the width at 51 and the height at 18. Change the X position to 60 and the Y position to 190. I will keep the color as is and change the font family to Arial. I will leave the font size at 13. Now, if the user selects yes, we want to ask for their email. Let's add a label and set the ID as email_text. Make the text, "What's your email?" Make the width 280 and the height 30. Set the X position as 20 and the Y position as 235. Change the text color and family font. I will keep the color as is and change the font to Arial. Lastly, I will change the font size to 12. Now make sure this hidden checkbox is ticked because we don't want this question to show up unless the user selects yes. Now, let's add a text input so that the user can input their email. Remember, think_type. Set the ID to email_text input. We don't need a placeholder for a text input. Make the width 200 and the height 30. Set the X position as 35 and the Y position as 260. The text color and font family of the text can be whatever you want. I will change the text color to a dark black and the font family to Courier. Change the font family to 12. Once again, make sure the hidden checkbox is checked because we don't want the user to see this input box unless they select yes. Now, let's add an exit button. We will have two exit buttons, one to show up at the bottom of the text input if the user selects yes, and the other to show up under the yes/no question if the user selects no. We won't be making these buttons functional this week. We will work on that next week. Let's make the button that shows up when the user selects yes. Set the ID as exit1 button. Make the button text as "Thanks for signing up, exit here." Make the width 200 and the height 40 so that you can see all the text on the button. Set the X position as 35 and the Y position as 310. I will leave the text color and font family as is. Change the font size to 15. And finally, make sure the hidden checkbox is checked so that this button only shows up when the user clicks yes. Now, let's make the exit button that shows up when the user selects no. Set the ID as exit2 button. Make the button text as "Thanks for visiting, exit here." Make the width 180 and the height 40. Set the X position as 45 and the Y position as 240. I will leave the text color and font family as is. Change the font size to 15. The hidden checkbox should be checked for this button too, since we only want it to show up if the user selects no. Now, we need to write a little bit of code so that the hidden elements show up correctly. Click Show Text so that we're able to code instead of using blocks. The code is simple. On the event, the yes button, and make sure to match the ID of all the elements, is clicked. The function should be show the email input box, semicolon, the email question text, and the exit1 button. We also need to make sure to hide the exit2 button. Now, the next event is the No button. On the event that the No button is clicked, the function should be hide the email input, the email question, and the exit 1 button. Show the exit 2 button. Now, we're done creating our app. To see how it works, click the Run button. When we select Yes, the email question and input show up along with the Thanks for signing up exit button. When we select No, only the Thanks for visiting exit button shows up. I hope you guys had fun making this app.